Tour is redefining the past in Atlantic City's hot new poker present. On the boardwalk, it's the Borgata Poker Open.
The World Poker Tour is a series of international poker tournaments featuring the biggest games.
How can I lose? Impossible to lose!
The greatest players and the largest payouts on the planet. Tonight in Atlantic City, 6 players, $3 million. A city known for fun and games gets serious about its poker. Here on the World Poker Tour.
Hi everyone, welcome to the World Poker Tour. We are in Atlantic City for the Borgata Poker Open. I'm Mike Sexton.
And I'm Vince Van Patten. And Mike, it is good to be back at Borgata. I mean, this place is truly impressive. They put $1 billion into this place, and it truly shows.
Oh, it really does, Vince. This is far and away the classiest casino in Atlantic City.
That is right. And speaking of class, this field was one of the classiest we've ever seen on the World Poker Tour.
Oh, you're right about that. We started out with over 300 players. That's nearly 200 more than played a year ago. And remember, last year the buy-in was only 5,000. This year it was 10,000.
That's right. But today, only one player will be winning the $1,091,000 first prize, plus to get that guaranteed $25,000 seat at Bellagio at the end of the season, and that's worth millions.
Oh, you're right about that. And folks, don't go away. This is going to be an exciting final table, one of the toughest that we've ever assembled on the World Poker Tour.
And that's because the Brat Pack is back. That's right, the young guns of poker, the cyber kids. You've seen them before, the young superstars. They're fantastic. Let's go down and say hello.
Let's do it.
On the short stack tonight is Brandon Moran. And Mike, he's the only amateur here tonight, and he's got his work cut out for him against these pros.
Boy, he sure does. Next in C3 is one of the world's best poker players, 27-year-old Phil Ivey, originally from Atlantic City, played a lot of poker here. He'll be starting out tonight with $466,000 in chips.
Seat number 4, Chris Chipraitis, also known in the poker world as Syracuse Chris. He's an experienced pro, and he's 4th in chips with $784,000.
Starting out in 3rd chip position with $950,000 in chips is 30-year-old Daniel Negreanu, another superstar in the poker world, but has yet to claim a WPT title. Let's see if he can do it here tonight.
Sitting next to him is 30-year-old Josh Aurier. He's a very accomplished player. In fact, he placed 3rd in last year's World Series of Poker main event. He will be very interesting to watch.
Coincidentally, our chip leader, 24-year-old David Williams from Dallas, Texas, the 2nd place finisher at the World Series. David is starting out tonight with over $2 million in chips.
This is going to be a good one. Here we go. Who do you like?
Well, Vince, I got to tell you, I'm going with the player that I consider one of the greatest in no-limit hold'em today. He also helps us out some on the World Poker Tour. Daniel Negreanu, my pick to win today.
Nice, and you get a little price there, too. I'm going to go for a price, too, as well. Phil Ivey, the short stack.
Oh.
I'm going with him at 6-1. We bet I told you so's. Let's go see how they're doing. They're shuffling up, and they're dealing.
Well, the Borgata Poker Open about to get underway. And Vince, what a barn burner we're going to have tonight. We start out with 302 players. We are down to our final 6.
The antes, they're going to be 3,000 in the beginning. And the blinds, they're going to be at 12,000 and 24,000. We're playing, of course, No Limit Texas Hold'em, the game that can make you or break you. 2 cards in your hand, 5 in the middle to make your best 5-card poker hand. And here we go. It's going to be on Daniel Negreanu first.
Daniel looks down at King 6. He folds.
Now it's around to Josh Aurier. He's got a chunky little 7-5 of diamonds.
Well, Josh, a very aggressive player at the table.
Look at this. He seems interested here.
Boy, he sure does, doesn't he, Vince? He's going to raise this pot on hand number 1. Makes it $70,000 to go.
He's going to put on the ski mask for the holdup. But right behind him, Phil Ivey's got big slick. He's got ace-king of diamonds.
It's going to be interesting to see how he plays this. Hand number 1 of the tournament. Phil Ivey's picked up a beautiful hand, ace-king of diamonds.
Come on.
He's gone all in.
Yeah, not fooling around with it. If you want to play, we'll play for it all right now, he says.
Chris quickly going down. Now look at this. David Williams has got a wired pair of 10s.
Wow.
Look at the deep breath he just took, Vince.
Oh. What a predicament.
I want to start you off with a whole lot of chips. I think I'm going to lay down the best hand.
He's laying this down.
Well, he does give it up.
Just incredible.
Brandon folds.
Can you beat 7 high?
Back on our bluffer.
Well, Josh has got to lay down the 7 high, so there you have it.
Phil Ivey picking up the first pot here.
Now, Vince, what's interesting about that is, had Josh not gotten involved in that pot, you know Phil would have raised it with ace-king. You know, David would have come over the top of him. They might have clashed for all Phil's chips right here on the first deal.
My name is Phil Ivey, and I'm a professional poker player. It was extra special that, I'm back in Atlantic City, and I got a chance to win this one. We're back home, in front of all my family and friends. It'd be real nice to win this tournament. I don't like to lose.
Well, there you have it. Phil Ivey, the hometown favorite, picking up that first pot.
He is just spectacular. I mean, we've seen him on the World Poker Tour. He's made the final table 3 times already.
Well, and I think he's in a good position tonight here, Vince, in terms of seat position. He's sitting behind the 2 most aggressive players at the table, next to himself probably, and that's in Daniel and Josh.
Well, it's going to be on the chip leader, David Williams. He looks down at an ace-6 offsuit. Nice pair of shades, but he throws it down.
Brandon folds.
Around to Daniel Negreanu. This time he's picked up a wired pair of deuces.
They're known as ducks in the poker world. Daniel's going to try to quack with him here. He bets 60,000.
Right into Josh. Now Josh has got a ugly little 5 deuce in his hand.
Daniel raises it to 60,000.
He's hesitating here.
Well, folks, in case you're wondering what's he doing here, why isn't he just folding this hand? It's a good question. What he's going to do, it looks like, is get some chips and re-raise Daniel here with a 5-deuce offsuit. Can you believe this, Vince?
Oh, he has not taken the ski mask off, apparently.
Wow.
He wants a little more robbery.
Unbelievable. $220,000 bet here, folks.
Phil quickly goes out. Chris going out as well. Now around to the very aggressive Daniel Negreanu with a legitimate pair of deuces.
Well, Daniel knows what an aggressive player Josh is, but still, with just 2 deuces and being out of position, tough to play.
Give Josh a Valium. He is going fast here already.
Boy, you're
Slow
not
him
kidding.
down.
Folks, Jesse James is in the house tonight. The name is Josh Aryeh.
Now look at this. Daniel's going to lay it down. Oh,
Well, there's a perfect demonstration, folks. You don't need cards to win at No Limit Hold'em. All you have to do is bet.
oh, what a steal.
Wow, what a bold, aggressive play by Josh Aryeh right there, Vince. That is amazing.
And look at him. A little bit of Robin Hood right there, stealing from the rich at this table, but just kind of giving to himself.
Well, Vince, as you know, in poker, when you steal a pot, you just feel so much better about it than when you win one with 2 aces.
Nothing like it. Now it's on Phil Ivey. He's got 10-9 offsuit.
Look at this. He's going to get in the action and raise it with 10 high. 70,000 to go.
Chris quickly going out. Now David also going out. Now it's up to Brandon Moran.
I'm all in.
9-8 suit. He's gone all in here, Vince.
With the suited connector,
Wow.
short stacked.
Man, larceny in the air everywhere.
Daniel quickly going out. Now it's back to Josh. He's got a quality hand. He's got ace-queen in his hand.
How deep? What is that? 400? That's not even 300.
Well, he knows Phil Ivey raised it in first position. He knows Brandon Moran, the guy you would think would be the tightest player at this table, is going all in here.
275, 3 1/4. 3 1/4.
325,000.
Josh actually looks uncomfortable with a quality hand.
Didn't know how
Give
to
him
play
the
him.
flop. He's
Well,
good.
he folded.
And so does Phil Ivey. So Brandon Moran, the former electrical engineer, he's going to take this pot with a little thievery.
Well, Vince, I got to tell you, this game should be played in a cell. The table should be painted with black and white stripes. They're all thieves.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back from the Borgata Open here on the World Poker Tour.
I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. I'm going to take my best shot at them today. I'm ready.
I didn't even know my eyes moved back and forth until I watched the show. I can't do nothing to stop it. When I'm concentrating and when I'm thinking, I'm looking to the left, I'm looking to the right, especially when I'm in the middle seat, it shows the most. I was like, man, I look crazy. I didn't even realize how I look.
443 in chips.
Welcome back to Borgata in Atlantic City. Vince, we could call this place Alcatraz tonight. We've got a table full of Robin Hoods here.
Oh, man, they are betting with Zip and Pip here tonight.
Folks, these guys bet when they don't have anything. It's just who can outsteal who here.
And David Williams still out in front. He's got about 1.9 million. It's going to be on Brandon Moran, a so-called amateur at the table.
We just saw him win that last pot by stealing it, moving all in.
He's got 8-6 of spades and a big smile, throws it down.
He's happy he picked up that last pot.
Daniel quickly going out, throwing away 10-9.
Now here's Josh. Now he's got another hand here, Vince. Ace Jack.
And he's going to raise this.
Josh raises to
Comes in for 80,000.
He does right into Phil.
Now Phil Ivey, who hates to give up any hands, especially when he's in position like this.
Well, he's got King 6.
Well, he does fold.
Not going to play. Now Syracuse with a King 4 lays that down. Around to David Williams. He's got Ace 7 of hearts.
Yep, he's in the big blind. And he's going to call. So here we go. The two chip leaders clashing here. David Williams with Ace 7. Josh with Ace Jack.
5 cards to come. Here's our flop.
Flop is Ace 7 deuce. A great flop for David Williams.
Oh,
He's flopped the top 2 pair. And he checks.
And Josh is going to check as
Wow.
well.
Josh checks right behind him.
4th Street.
5 of clubs comes off.
100.
And here he goes.
Look at this. David now bets 100,000.
He wants to get paid off for his 2 pair on the flop.
Well, Josh gonna call him. You certainly can't blame him with 2 aces.
Oh, potential disaster here for Josh REA. River card coming up.
Oh, board pair 7s. David Williams has made a full house.
150.
I call.
Tags him for 150, and Josh quickly calling it.
You can't blame him for calling with 2 aces there. Well, David's full house is gonna win this pot.
And Josh is saying, just give me my 5 deuce back. I hate these quality hands. It'd be very dangerous.
I think you got to tip your hat to Josh there. He lost about as little as you could lose with that hand, in my opinion. He checked on the flop and just called him on 4th Street and at the river with the top pair.
It's tough to get away with that kind of hand once the ace hits. This time just making David Williams even a bigger chip leader.
Vince, the guy's 24 years old, playing for over $1 million right here.
Oh, man, I tell you, fresh from his senior prom, now playing professional poker.
Well, you know, we see so many young guys week in and week out on the World Poker Tour making these final tables. Just fantastic.
It's going to be on Daniel first. He throws away Jack 6. Josh not going to mess around. Goes out.
Round to Phil Ivey here. He's going to raise it again. He's got Ace 3 offsuit. Comes in for 70,000.
Chris quickly throwing it down, but David Williams, he's got a real pair of 5s wired.
Let's see how he plays them. He knows how aggressive Phil Ivey is.
How deep are you with it, Phil?
What?
How much you got left?
450.
Now, you're entitled to know how many chips your opponent has at all times. So you can ask anybody at the table when you're involved in a pot how much they have to tell you.
Don't necessarily have to verbalize it. The dealer can do that for you.
I'll call. Call.
David says call.
Now look at this. He's going to get the call.
It's been 70,000.
Brandon laying down King 3, so we have 2-way action. Phil Ivey versus David Williams.
Here comes the flop. The flop is 10-4 deuce.
10-4.
Remember, David's got 2 5s. David's checked.
Phil's got the miracle straight draw. He needs a 5 for a straight.
Normally, when you give Phil Ivey the green light, he tries to go through it.
Yes, he's going to continue this charade. He's going to push it.
He's bet 105,000 here.
105.
Going to make it tough on David Williams.
105.
I'm all in. All in.
Wow, David's made a great read. He's going all in here, Vince.
Over the top and quickly. Phil Ivey's not going to Hollywood. He throws it down.
Now, what a nice bet there by David Williams there. Wasn't going to fool around. He was just saying, if you can beat these 5s, good luck to you. But I'm not giving you any free cards to beat me. I'm going all in right here. Phil Ivey mucks his hand, but give David credit for making that bold play to pick up that pot.
And I tell you, Phil is thinking to himself, got a tough guy on my left. Very aggressive, a lot of chips. He knows what I'm up to. I don't like this.
Action's going to be on Chris.
That's right. They call him Syracuse Chris, who hasn't played a hand since the Carter administration.
And looks at a queen 5 here and mucks it.
Yes, he does. David quickly going out.
Round to Brandon. Now he's picked up ace high here.
He's got ace 7.
80,000.
He's going to bet 80,000.
Gonna get aggressive. Negrano throws away 10-8 offsuit.
Sorry.
No problem.
Look at this. Josh has picked up a pair of 3s.
That's a legitimate wired pair.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm a little surprised he would call this raise here.
Into Phil Ivey. Now, Phil's got ace-queen.
All in.
He's gone over the top. He's gone all in.
Pull it all in. If you pull all the chips in.
I actually like this play by Phil Ivey, and I'll tell you why. Because Josh just limped in and didn't re-raise Brandon, he's got a sense Josh is not all that strong.
Now it's up to Brandon Moran. He had to put up 10,000 to get into this event.
I got a fold.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to lay it down.
Now it's back around to Josh.
If I picked up 2 aces here, I was going to limp right behind the razor.
Well, now look at Josh here.
Spread the pot
Well,
out, please.
he's got a little bit of a problem. He's got the wired
Spread the pot out,
threes.
please.
Well, he wants to spread the pot out. He wants to see how much money is in there. He's going to calculate his pot odds now, as we say. There's about $580,000 in the pot, costing him about $325,000 to call this bet. But what he's really thinking about here, Vince, do I want to play this pot against Phil Ivey?
Well, he knows that Phil has no money left. He's put himself all in. He's got a little extra side action because Brandon was involved. So is it worth it?
There's a couple things to think about. He's got a chance to take Phil Ivey out of this tournament. He's a pest on your left you'd like to get rid of.
This is a bad call, but I'm going to do it just to get rid of Phil.
Look at this. Josh is going to gamble here.
Josh is going to call it.
I call.
Yes, he is.
He has been called.
And right now, Josh has 2 threes. Phil has ace-queen. And Phil Ivey must win this pot to stay alive.
5 cards to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the conclusion on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the Borgata Poker Open, where it's all on the line for the hometown favorite, Phil Ivey. He's all in against Josh Aurier, who has a couple of crabs waiting to snap up Phil's ace-queen.
I know I'm not...
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour.
I know I'm not going to be able to get my money in good against you.
Right now, Phil Ivey is all in with ace-queen. He's up against Josh Arias, 2 threes.
That is right. He is all in. He is playing on the third rail, folks. He can knock the great Phil Ivey out. There's 5 cards to come. Here come the first 3.
Nearly $1 million in this pot. Well, flop comes Jack, 10-4. That means a king would now give Phil a straight.
But meantime, the 3s are still out in front.
Yes, they are. Right now, Phil Ivey needs an ace, king, or a queen here.
He's in grave condition at this point. Here comes the turn card.
Oh, it's a 3. Josh jumps up. He's made 3 of a kind, but it's not over. Phil can still catch a king and make an ace-high straight to win this pot, but he must catch one, Vince.
Can you believe that turn card? The river card coming up.
It's got to be a king.
Phil praying for the miracle. Here it comes. It's not going to be.
Nope, it's a 7. He's out. Phil Ivey is out in 6th place. Well, the gentleman he is, shaking hands with everybody at the table.
Well, he is absolutely stunned. He's a great sport. He's still smiling. He's a gentleman.
Well, a lot of his family here today, thanking the crowd for the support.
Well, he's going to pick up $105,000. Respect, of course, from the entire poker world, but right now he has to go back into the casino where players cry and dreams die.
Well, in poker, timing is everything, and Josh Aurier proved it right there, folks. He gambled with the 2 threes. It paid off in spades for him.
I want to portray confidence at the table. I want people to see that I'm confident. 50,000 is nothing. You want to gamble? Because I hate when I sense confidence from somebody. I'm a great guy away from poker, but when I play, it's war.
Well, the crowd a little stunned as Phil Ivey exits the arena.
Who would have thought the great talent of Phil? But here we go once again. David quickly going out. Brandon out. Now around to Daniel.
Look at this. Daniel has picked up a beautiful hand. 2 queens on the button.
Well, he's got the ladies, and he's going to raise.
He comes in for $60,000.
Beautiful starting hand, but right behind him, Josh has got 5s, and he's called it.
Chris lays his hand down. Right now, Daniel in great shape. He's got 2 queens.
With position once in a while.
Josh has 2 5s.
Here's our flop.
Well, flop is 9-9-7, so both players have 2 pair. Daniel in the driver's seat.
And Josh is going to check it.
Daniel bets $120,000.
Daniel bets $120,000.
Doesn't overbet the queens. Wants to suck them in like cat hair.
220,000, and now here comes Josh. He's going to look him up, as we say. He thinks his 2 5s are the best hand right here. Here we go to the turn. Well, an 8 comes on the turn, making a potential straight out there. Action is on Josh.
Uh-oh. Danger, Will Robinson.
He called the raise before the flop. He called the raise on the flop, and now he's leading out here, Vince, for 230,000.
230.
A potential disaster for this young man.
Look at the startled look on Daniel's face here. He says an 8? A gut shot? Are you kidding? Do you really have a 9 in your hand? These are the pieces of the puzzle that Daniel's trying to put together here now. What does his opponent have?
Well, you got your ladies. You think you like the flop and the turn. Wants to try to read his opponent.
That's what I'm thinking about doing, but I don't know.
Somebody in the crowd yells raise.
You might have a good hand. Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to call.
Comes out
He's saying, what is going on? He says, I am going to call. So
cool?
right now, over
Maybe I don't know. We'll see.
850,000 in this pot.
The mom's Mabley of hecklers out there.
We need some help, though.
Now here
All right, river card.
Daniel's listening to her.
Well, you know Josh is not crazy about that call.
He was just sick. Now here's the river card.
Wow, now the third 9 comes out there. Both players have a full house. However, Daniel's is much larger. Well, Josh checks.
Oh, and he slows down.
Well, if you're sitting there in Daniel's seat now, you're very happy about that 9 coming off. Because just in case your opponent had 3 7s or 3 8s or a straight, you now would have the best hand with the 2 queens. There's only 3 hands that can beat Daniel now. A 4th 9 or 2 aces or 2 kings. But the way this hand was played, hard to put Josh on 2 aces or 2 kings.
Daniel knows that, and he's bet this.
Yes, he has. So Daniel's bet 360,000. I like this bet.
360.
You know, there's over 850,000 in the pot. He's made a massage bet here of 360,000. Now look at Josh. Now, what he's thinking is if Daniel has an 8 or a 7 in his hand, he will have a losing hand. Or if he has an overpair, he will have a losing hand. Tough decision here for Josh.
Glasses come off. He's going to reevaluate the board.
Remember, we've seen Josh call and raise with weak hands here at this final table.
I just don't know if you would have just called.
There's a lot of money out there. 1.1 million. Cost him 320,000 to call. That's what he's thinking about.
Oh, this is a nice laydown.
360 to call.
That's a very nice laydown.
Yes, it is. Oh, look at this. Daniel shows him a queen.
Yes, he does.
Oh my God, I was right.
Showed the queen of diamonds.
Did he have the flush draw or the straight draw?
The other
That's what's going through Josh's
It's the
mind.
10 of diamonds.
Huh? I
It's
showed the
10
queen of diamonds.
And it's the other one's the 10 of diamonds.
I just showed the queen. I didn't
The other
show
one's the
anything
10 of
else.
diamonds.
Good hand.
But what a little toy play Daniel made there, showing him one queen, putting doubt in the mind of Josh. You can read it on his face. He thinks he laid down the best hand. Will it put him on tilt here?
That could make you implode. We will see.
Sorry.
So there you have it. Daniel Negreanu, a top pro, going to his bag of tricks and psychological warfare and showing one card to his opponent there to keep him wondering about what he had.
Oh, boy. He wants him to tilt like a leaning tower of Pisa. But back to the action. It's going to be on Brandon Moran.
I'm not letting
Chuck's a
sweat
king
those
8.
Man, I don't want to wait till spring.
Okay, we're gonna have to watch the show to see what Daniel had.
I'll tell y'all.
I'll tell you all.
Mr. Trickery, Daniel Negreanu,
No.
looks at a queen 3.
Daniel folds.
I could have been 2 queens. You never have anything that good.
Josh still wondering about that last hand.
Oh, he's punchy from that. He's got a 7-6.
Look at
He
this.
finally lets it go.
And now here's Chris calling out of the small blind with queen 8 of diamonds.
Well, welcome to the game, Syracuse.
And David Williams with the 4-3 of diamonds says give us a flop here. Oh, flop comes ace 8-7 with 2 diamonds.
Oh, that is beautiful for Chris. He hits a pair of 8s and a big flush draw.
Well, and David Williams has a flush draw as well.
Chris is bet, and David quickly calling.
So 2 flush draws.
Okay, next card.
Yeah.
They've been called the 30,000.
4 nines.
Now a 4 comes off, so this gives David Williams a pair as well as a flush draw. Chris bets 90,000.
90,000.
Chris is not going to hesitate. He's bet
Oh.
David over the top's gone all in.
David is
Now he's making what we call a semi-bluff. He assumes his opponent just has a pair of aces, possibly a pair of 8s maybe. But little does David know that not only does Chris have the best hand, he has the best draw.
But he's also short stacked. David knows that.
Well, still, it's nearly 400,000 to Chris to make this call. Not an easy call to make, even though you have a pair and a flush draw. You can't think your pair is good at this point, Vince. Well, he's going to gamble. He's going to do it. And is he going to love it when David turns up his hand?
What a nice position to be in.
Pair and a flush draw. Chris is
Queen,
good.
8 of diamonds.
hand, buddy.
He knows he's in great shape here. He's got to love this position, but Vince, he's old school. He knows anything can happen in poker. He's still got to dodge a 4 or 3 to win this pot.
Let's see the last card.
And here comes the river card.
He's done it. Now you see Chris celebrate a little bit. And folks, he is back. He has just doubled up.
Syracuse Chris, the family man, has 4 kids at home rooting for him.
No wonder why he needs to win more money.
And we are watching some great poker here in Atlantic City. Don't go away. We'll be back with more on the World Poker Tour.
This
Welcome to the Borgata!
This is the second year that we're hosting the Borgata Poker Open, and we are absolutely ecstatic. The World Poker Tour has just been phenomenal for the Borgata. We're looking to go from 34 poker tables to 85 poker tables, so it's going to get only bigger and better.
It's a very nice place. Yeah, it's by far the classiest place I've been in Atlantic City. It's nice.
It's a place to have fun, clearly. It's an exciting, high-energy environment. It's a great place to be.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are at the beautiful Borgata Resort Casino and Spa, home to the best poker tournament in Atlantic City.
That's right, Mike. And so far, we have seen it all. I mean, the young guns just shooting it up, playing very sneaky, very good poker. Let's see where the players stand right now.
And right now, our chip leader, still David Williams, has a little over 1.8 million. In second place is Daniel Negreanu with about 1.5 million. Josh Aurier in third place with about 1.35 million. Chris has about 900,000 in chips, and right now Brandon Moran on the short stack with a little over $500,000.
What a contest so far, but right now it's going to be on the chip leader, David Williams. He throws down a king 8.
No.
Brandon Moran looks down at his hand, and it's a nice one. It's ace-king.
He's got big slick.
75.
He's going to raise it to 75,000.
A nice raise into Daniel Negreanu. Look at this. Daniel's got a wired pair of jacks right behind him.
That's a big hand in a 5-handed poker game. He's getting out some raising chips. And he is going to raise it.
He's going to push back. Josh quickly going out.
No, 250.
He's made it 250,000 to go.
Chris going out as well.
250,000.
Well, what Brandon's saying, is it now or never here?
I'm all in.
He's going for it. He's moving all in right now.
And he's doing what you're supposed to do, not realizing what a strong hand Daniel has right behind him.
Well, even though Daniel has a good hand, you're still not crazy about 2 jacks. And your opponent raises and then moves all in on you.
Man, but with the amount of chips in there, it would only make sense Daniel has to make this call.
And you're right, Vince. There's over 800,000 in the pot. It's going to cost Daniel about 250 to call.
How much more you got?
You're getting 3 to 1 on your money or more. I can't imagine he's not going to call in this spot.
I call.
He is going to call it, as he should.
Makes the right decision here.
And we have the classic race situation, folks. That's when one player has 2 overcards, the other player has an under pair.
Folded a king. Did you fold a king? Did you fold a king? Good luck, my man. You know, I don't really mean that, but...
Same phony good luck to you.
Right. Same phony good luck to you. The old... That's perfect, man. I like that.
It's a race situation to win these no-limit championships. Who's going to get lucky here?
Only one jack? Now you tell me.
Well, here's the flop. It's 2 4s with a 9. That is good for Daniel so far.
Yes, it is. And right now, Brandon must catch an ace or a king, or he's going to be our 5th place finisher.
There's an ace in there.
He is hanging in there right now by dental floss.
Well, look at Brandon's parents over there. She's pounding her heart. She's hoping.
Here comes the turn, Mike.
Can he catch an ace or a king? Not so far.
Oh, so close with the queen.
Well, the queen comes off, so we are down to the river, folks.
Come on,
ace.
This is critical. Right now, Brandon Moran must have help. He must catch an ace or a king. If not, he will be our 5th place finisher.
That is right.
Move for the dead money. Ace.
Can Brandon get lucky? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't do it. So there you have it. Brandon Moran from Chicago, Illinois, a stocks bonds trader, is going to have another $135,900 to trade with, Vince.
Well, he's a good sport. He smiles, waves the crowd. He's not a professional.
And Vince, you know, he has got to be thrilled to have made it this far and done this well in this event. Just a great performance all week long by Brandon Moran.
Well, let's gamble now, boys.
I had a great time, and I think I played really well. I really felt comfortable out there. The only real hand I had was the one I went all in with, the ace-king, and I got the classic coin flip scenario, and, you know, it didn't come from me this time, but I was really pleased with the way I played.
We are down to 4 at Borgata.
And the blinds and antes have gone up. We're now playing with a $5,000 ante. Blinds are $20,000 and $40,000.
That's right. It is getting expensive at Borgata. And right now it's going to be on Josh Aurier, who has played brilliantly all night so far.
You're working, huh?
He's got a Jack-3 in his hand.
He lays it down.
Chris quickly goes out. Chip leader David Williams with 10-9 is going to call it.
All right.
Daniel says, give us a flop.
Dangerous playing a flop with the flop master.
The flop master.
It's come 9-8-6 with 2 clubs. David quickly checks.
Flop master says 50.
Daniel bets 50,000.
Flop apprentice says call.
Wow.
Quickly called by David.
Okay. Flop master must reassess situation.
And both players have a straight throw, the same 10-high straight throw.
David in front with a legitimate pair.
Now the board pairs 8s. David checks again.
Very, very tricky.
David checks.
You very, very tricky.
Daniel going into a Peter Sellers impersonation.
Now notice Daniel has a flush draw and a straight draw, and opts to check it here.
Here's the river.
And look, he makes his flush, Vince, at the river. But David has made a 10-high straight.
100,000?
And leads out and bets 100,000 with it.
It's right into Daniel.
Now Daniel's saying, hey, that was my card. I made my hand with that card. I made the flush. Here you are coming out betting, but very dangerous looking board there, Vince. There's full house possibilities out there.
That move's not going to work again, y'all.
No?
Oh, now look at this.
Remember that one?
Yeah, I tried that one the other day. But I tell you what move I think will work. And that is 300,000.
He's going to raise it 200,000 more. This is a great value bet by Daniel Negreanu here.
Well, David thought he was on the bluff, and he's quickly going to call this, and he's not going to like it.
10 high flush.
It was a nice little river.
Yeah. The perfect card.
That is just beautifully done by Daniel. And by the way, he gave him the mini needle. He said 10 high flush. David, of course, was hoping it was a 10 high straight so he could chop up the pot.
Only you would pick up on that, Vince.
I'll keep watching.
The flop master, everybody.
Now, Vince, sometimes I'm not crazy about all the talk that goes on at the poker table, but there are some pros who have made it an art form.
Well, you know, Mike, there is a method to the madness, okay? They are looking for some information, a few little tells, any little edge they can get on their opponents, something you wouldn't know about.
And Shauna Hyatt goes beyond the talk to show us those methods on this week's WPT Poker Corner.
There are many different strategies at the poker table, but only one everybody's talking about.
I'm all in.
You're all in. It's no secret. Players talk at the table to extract information from other players.
Getting information from other players is relatively easy. You just kind of have to know what to look for. It's not particularly the answer, but it's the style in which someone answers that gives away the strength of their hand.
You ready? Ready for what? The dance. You know?
All right, I'm always.
He opened his mouth, he invited disaster.
Basically what you're doing is you're trying to gauge how comfortable the person is.
225 more.
If they're way too comfortable, chances are they're not bluffing.
Maybe I made a little mistake.
But if they're like fidgety and you know, like really nervous, there's a higher likelihood that they're bluffing.
If you're trying to get someone to talk, then you're talking yourself, and you're going to give away more information than you're going to get. So just keep your mouth shut.
Just play, baby. Just play.
Now, you know, Mike, Daniel Negreanu is a great example of a table talker who knows how to get information from another player.
Daniel definitely has a talent for it, Vince. He's one of the best at it.
You can say that again. All right, Josh quickly gets out of the way in this hand.
As does Chris.
Now it's back to David. He's got 8-6 this time. A little money already invested.
Now he limped in on the blind a minute ago with 9-10. Here he's going to raise it with an 8-6, so he's changing gears, as we say.
He wants a little revenge on his man, Daniel. Can he push him out of this pot? Daniel looks down at a Jack-9 offsuit.
Well, certainly not the greatest of hands. Well, Daniel isn't a big blind with 40,000 out there. Cost him 70,000 more to call, and he is calling.
He is going to speculate.
Me and the flop master once again.
Here we go. Here's the flop.
The flop is all paint. King, queen, jack.
That's nice for Daniel. Picked up a piece of it, but David, with no hesitation, bets in with absolutely nothing.
He's got an 8 and a 6, and he bets 125,000. Wow, what a call by Daniel to call with bottom pair. Yes, he's got a straight draw, but it's what we call the sucker straight. If a 10 came off, an ace would beat him.
Nice pot developing. Here's the turn.
3 of hearts.
That doesn't help David at all, but look at this. He's going to fire again with absolutely nothing.
Folks, that's a $500,000 wager right there on a stone bluff after your opponent just called 125,000.
And he gets Daniel to lay it down.
An amazing play by David Williams right there.
Incredible. Only 24. I got cheese in my refrigerator older than this kid, and he does that. Just phenomenal.
This is fun to watch. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more exciting action from the World Poker Tour.
Your WPT Player of the Year, Eric Lindgren, and on the turn, you've hit top pair and an inside straight draw. But Parisian playboy David Benjamin leads out and bets 60,000 euros. Is David bluffing, or does he have the goods? What's your call?
A very difficult decision right here. You have top pair, a straight draw. What do you do right now?
What's your call? Remember, you've got top pair and a straight draw, but it's 60,000 euros to you with one card to come. So do you hold them or fold them? If you said lay him down, good call. David had 2 pair and had you beat.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are at Borgata. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton. And Mike, we are down to 4.
Yes, we are, Vince, and we're watching poker artistry here tonight, folks. Amazing poker.
Right back into the action. David Williams. He has an 8-7 in his hand. He is not going to play it.
Round to Daniel now. He looks down at ace-9.
With the button in front of him. Best place in Hold'em poker.
And the chip leader is going to raise it. Comes in for 160,000.
Josh quickly going out. Now it's around to Chris, who's got a horrible little 5-3 offsuit.
Well, Chris has seen that's the largest raise Daniel's made so far tonight. 160,000 before the flop. Can't imagine you're going to possibly call here with a 5-3.
This is not a Hollywood kind of guy, though. Usually he quickly goes out. He's going to go all in with it.
Well, he's got nearly 700,000. He's moving it all in here, folks, with a 5 and a 3.
Tempting a massive bluff here.
Well, his problem is he's going up against the chip leader. The chip leader's on a roll. There's a little over 800,000 in the pot right now.
Let's talk about perception. This man hasn't played many pots this evening. We've seen that. So at the table, they're thinking this guy's solid. He's a rock. He's waiting for the best hands. Will that pay off when he finally makes a bluff like he's attempting right now?
Well, Daniel's not quite getting 2-to-1 odds on his money. He knows Chris is a pretty solid player.
I can certainly afford it. You might be messing around.
Well, you know what Chris is thinking? Please hit the road, Daniel. Don't do it.
530?
Don't call me.
He's definitely saying Hail Marys right now.
Gamble.
Daniel's going to do it.
I caught you, didn't I? I caught him.
He can afford to take the call.
You got a shot. He got 3-5 off.
Chris has made a play here, folks, with a 5-3.
At least you got guts.
And his timing doesn't look too good at the moment, but certainly not over by any means.
9 out there.
I was hoping you got a 10 jack or
Right.
something like that.
That hand was too good to fold.
Well, for the money you got to fold.
See if I can fade the 5-3, right?
I think you could fault Chris just slightly for
it's
not
50-50.
calculating the pot
Yeah,
odds.
you
Daniel almost getting 2-to-1 odds on his money. If you have an ace in your hand,
need a 9.
you can call virtually anything with that. Even if your opponent turned 2 kings up in your face, you would call if you're getting 2-to-1 odds on
Well,
your
this
money.
is far from over, Mike. 5 cards to come.
10 queen.
Not that big of a dog. Let's see what happens.
Here comes the flop.
That's a good
Now
one
flop
for me.
is queen, queen, 10.
Put a 10 out there.
Easy, man.
A 10 will do it.
Easy.
So right now,
Queen and
Yeah.
10 off.
Syracuse Chris is going to have to catch a 5 or a 3.
Put the 3 a diamond and the deuce of heart, and I go home.
Here's the turn.
3 a diamond.
It's not a 3.
Well, that's a 6.
It's all right. The 3 a diamonds come.
Now what that means is Syracuse Chris must catch a 5 or a 3, or he's going to be our 4th place finisher.
Borgata open on the line.
Let's see the last
River
card.
card coming up. Here it is.
Will Chris get lucky? No, he doesn't do it.
Good job, man. Good luck. Good luck, buddy.
You know, you admire a guy when he makes a play at a pot, Vance, but you have to wonder, did he calculate making the move at the wrong time?
Well, he walks away. He picks up 181,000. We didn't get to see him play quite enough, I think. The veteran at the table eliminated. He'll pick up 181,000.
That was a fantastic call, Daniel.
Well, we are down to 3 great players here at Borgata. Daniel Negreanu still our chip leader with over $3 million in chips. David Williams in 2nd place with over $2 million. And Josh Aryeh in 3rd place with $825,000.
This is exciting. Who's going to take this title?
These guys all aggressive players
32 or 33?
and all sensational players.
Now, don't forget, Josh and David played each other. Final 3 of the World Series main event. 2 of the hottest players on the professional poker circuit. Here we go. 300 on the World Poker Tour. It's on Josh. Got a 4-3 of diamonds. He's just going to call it.
He just limps in on the button.
No.
Now, David's got a 9 deuce of spades.
He calls out of the small blind.
Flop master loves flops. He's checking. Anytime he can see a flop, he loves it.
Daniel with a 6-4 says, give us a flop. So here we go. 3-way action here.
Here's the flop.
Now, flop is Jack 9-8 with 2 diamonds.
But David's got the legitimate pair of 9s in front. Josh has flopped 4 to the flush.
140.
David leading right out with the 2 9s, bets 140,000.
Daniel quickly folds it. Now around to Josh, who has 4 to the flush.
Well, he quickly calls. David not thrilled with that.
Turn card coming up.
Well, the 3 of hearts comes on the turn. Now David checks.
Come on, then.
Josh goes all in here. A bold bet by
Big
Josh.
gamble right into David Williams, and it's going to work.
What a great bet right there. It's what we call a semi-bluff. You're hoping your opponent lays down something like a pair of 9s right there. But even if he calls you, you've left yourself with outs, as we say, cards that you can still win the pot with.
Oh, it is the young guns. It is exciting. These 3. Who's going to become the champion?
The only thing greater than making a WPT final table is making one with your friends. And that's just what happened to Daniel, David, and Josh.
They're just overall nice guys, and talking to them all weekend and kind of joking with them, and now it's odd that we're all here.
Honestly, to me, it's easier to lose to a friend because I'm happy for my friend that won a tournament.
And Daniel speaks from experience, having come in 2nd last year to his good friend Eric Lindgren.
When I lost to Eric, I didn't feel so bad. You know, I was happy for him, and 2nd paid pretty good anyways.
It's not often you find a happy loser at the poker table, but as we all know, nobody comes to lose.
Oh, wow.
Yes!
A multi-million-dollar poker tournament can be cutthroat, even among friends.
It's not personal. I mean, nothing's personal at the table. I mean, at the table, you're looking out for yourself. I mean, there's only one person you can worry about. So if you have to get involved with one of your friends, they're not really, I mean, they're still your friends, but at the time, they're your enemies.
Friend or foe, in the end, it's all about winning.
But today, if I lose to Josh or David, which I don't plan on doing anyways, it's not the end of the world. Forget it. I want first.
Antes and blinds still the same. $5,000 ante, 20 and 40. Here we go again. Right back on Daniel Negreanu, our chip leader. He's got 7-6, a little suited connector of spades.
Daniel's first.
And he's going to raise it. Comes in for 120,000.
Now Josh looks down at ace-5. Wow. Dumps it.
Folds ace-high. Too good a hand for him, Vince.
David Williams He's got San Francisco, a 49er.
Now he's in the big blind.
500.
Raise it to $500,000 here, folks, with a 9-4 offsuit.
Oh, this is a giant game of chicken going on between these two guys.
This is absolutely unbelievable to see how aggressive all these players are.
Okay, see it.
Especially David Williams.
So you raised 380 more?